thought I'd share one haiku and two poems from the performance art section of this book. This one is Eminence. You're the eminence of hopes and dreams, strength and drive. You fight the good fight, which is a perfect segue into the first performance art poem in here called, if you want to talk about falling in love, for fall, mapping the way to true love. I've always taken charge and led the way, but even on my own, I accomplished more than anyone. I was invincible.
Yeah.
I was doing so well, I quit my job as an art director for the second largest city in the States, kept paying for my Chicago apartment, and traveled around the country by car, until I was stopped at a light and one car slammed into me, and then another. Then I fought for my life. And this sounds very sad, and I'm telling you, it was. But this is a part of my invincible life, because doctors from the other floors of the hospital read my records and called me Miracle Girl because of my miraculous recovery. But this was the first step in my invincible life when I felt alone, because the only thing missing from my invincible life was true love. You know the kind, because in this hectic modern world, it's next to impossible to find your philosophical equal. So now, because I'm a journalist forced to take the train because my car was totaled, I'd ask passengers questions. Tell me something about yourself. Because my life was almost taken away. I wanted to learn everything about life I could. Let me at least vicariously live. Tell me something about yourself. And one man answered in the cold of January while I kept myself covered in a coat, hat, scarf, gloves. He asked me what book I was currently reading. I said a philosopher's name. He said he knew their writing and that he had read their novels. Then he started reading, telling me about their non-fiction books, and he even said that he read a lexicon of their philosophy.
Who's the philosopher? Not gonna tell me.
I stopped him. You're telling me you read a dictionary?
Ah, yeah.
He said yes, and the information comes quite in handy in his life. And on our first date, we talked philosophy more than half of the night, when not asking each other vague, well, tell me about yourself questions. And though we had only known each other for 2 weeks, when Valentine's Day came, he decided to give me an expansive map of the United States, because I had just traveled it. He carried this large tube to his work on Valentine's Day. The coworker saw it and inquired. When he said he was giving his girl a map for Valentine's Day, the coworker laughed. She'll hate that. Women like chocolates and flowers, he said. But when I got that map, I asked if it was okay if I kept it curled up until we had a home for it. And when I look up in my office and I see that map on my wall, and when I walk out of my office and I see a wall displaying his guitars, he likes that I wanted to display his music, and he likes that I'm a creative person with an engineering side, because he's an engineering person with a creative side. And that shouldn't surprise him. And it shouldn't surprise him that we were engaged 4 times longer than we dated. Yes, our dating was accelerated because not many people talk philosophy on their first date. And not many people realize, even before they start dating, that they can't be without the other. Because now that we found each other, we want to lock hands and scour those maps, because we want to see every part of the world together. Because when you get to this point, celebrating alone isn't celebrating.
That's true.
And living alone isn't living, when you could be with your one true love.
Beautiful.
Mapping your way to true love, yeah. And I will end with one more, and it's a nice nature theme. I was in Chicago, and I read this on the Chicago radio, and the DJ MC was just like, oh, there's a nature thing, and you've got so much, and this was one of them that I read, and it's called Years, Centuries, Eons. Scouring this land, searching for meaning, I've traversed the roads to see the innate beauty of how this earth came together. discovering those rocky terrains, caressing smooth lava beds, studying the variation of color in the rainforest bamboo stalks has touched my soul deeply. Years, centuries, eons have shifted the plates beneath us. When I left the plains near Chicago, I traversed the Appalachians, then skydove the Grand Tetons. But waiting to visit some places till it wasn't tourist season was the smartest way to go, because that way no one was there nearby when I walked along the ridges of the Grand Canyon, screamed into the caverns to no one. Before I climbed the orange depths of Bryce Canyon, a rocky range that eternally is a vibrant sunset. Walked miles off beaten paths at Arches National Park until I could see for miles there was no one. And in all that time, there was only one bird. No people, no planes, just peace. But it took years, centuries, eons for nature to create these majestic, intoxicating, breathtaking places that seem like works of art. But this is just how the world works. This is how it became this wondrous thing that we see today. You might think, no, this can't be that good, not touched by the hand of man. But you've got it all wrong. It is possible to utterly, deeply, completely fall in love with the world, wholly, with every fiber of your being. You can adore, idolize this creation if you just let nature take its course.
Yeah, yeah.